I took a job as a night security guard. I wasn't alone. I never thought I'd end up working night security. But after months of job hunting and bills piling up, I took what I could get. It was supposed to be easy, just me, a flashlight, and a dozen empty office floors. The building was an old skyscraper downtown, half the offices abandoned, the rest barely used. The company promised it was just a temporary post while they updated their security system. First few nights? Boring. I'd walk the halls, listen to podcasts, scroll my phone. The building creaked sometimes, but it was an old structure. Nothing unusual. Until about the fourth night, that's when things got weird. It started with the cameras. Around 2 a.m., I was doing my rounds when I glanced at the monitors in the security office. One of them, camera 14, was glitching. It showed the 9th floor hallway, where no one should have been. But through the static, I swear I saw something. It was fast. A blur. At first I thought it was a trick of the light, or maybe a rodent triggering motion detection. So, like an idiot, I went up to check. The elevator felt slower than usual, groaning as it rose. When I stepped out, the floor was silent, sterile, empty. But there, about 20 feet down the hall, one of the office doors was ajar. And I'm sure I locked all of them earlier. I walked toward it, flashlight beam shaking a little. When I pushed the door open, the office inside was untouched. Except the chair at the desk was turned, facing the door. As if someone had been sitting there, waiting. I spun around, suddenly feeling like I was being watched. But the hall was empty. I chalked it up to nerves, closed the door, and got back in the elevator. When I returned to the security office, all the cameras were black. Every single one. The next night, things escalated. I was halfway through my shift when I heard it. Footsteps. Not above me. Not below. Right there on my floor. I froze. Listened. Slow, deliberate steps. Shuffling across the marble lobby. I grabbed my flashlight and peeked into the hallway. Nobody. The steps grew louder, closer. I backed up, hand trembling on the radio. Hello? I called out, hating how small my voice sounded. No response. Only breathing. Heavy, ragged breathing, right beside me. But when I turned my flashlight, there was nothing. Just empty air. I slammed the office door shut and locked it. The breathing continued outside for almost 10 minutes. And then, it laughed. Low. Broken. Like a bad recording of a person trying to remember how to laugh. By week 2, I was barely sleeping. The building felt wrong. Not haunted. Not exactly. More like it was alive. And it knew I was there. Every night, new things happened. I'd hear tapping on the windows. On the 15th floor. I'd see shapes dart across the monitors. But nothing on the actual floors. Once, while patrolling, I found all the conference room chairs stacked into a perfect spiral. Another time, every clock in the building reset to 3:13 a.m., blinking in unison. One night, I even found a note on my desk. In jagged handwriting, it said, I didn't tell anyone. I needed the paycheck too badly. The worst night was my last. Around 3 a.m., I heard the elevators moving on their own. Each time, the doors would open, but nobody would step out. Finally, I saw it on the monitor. Camera 6. Lobby. A figure standing just outside the front doors. Not trying to get in. Just standing. The thing was wrong. It was tall, too tall. Skin stretched tight over bones. head cocked unnaturally to the side. And it was staring directly into the camera. Like it knew I was watching. Then the monitors started to static, one by one. But before they all went black, I saw the figure again. This time, inside the building. I panicked. I locked myself in the office, pressed my back against the door. Outside, I could hear footsteps again. And whispers. I swear to God I heard my own name whispered, over and over. At one point, the handle started to turn. Slowly. Deliberately. Something was trying to come in. I was done. I grabbed my keys, sprinted down the stairwell, and didn't stop until I hit the street. I didn't even bother quitting properly. I just never went back. Later, I looked up the building's history. Turns out, years ago, it used to be a psychiatric hospital. Before it was renovated into offices. Patients died there. Hundreds. They say the worst of them, the ones beyond saving, were kept in the lower floors. The same floors where I kept hearing things. Sometimes, when I pass that building downtown, I swear I still see someone standing at the windows. Watching. Waiting. And every once in a while, I still wake up at 3:13 a.m., gasping, heart pounding. Because in my dreams, I'm still there. Locked inside. And something is still trying to get in.